sure to check out Agelessgeeks for your figures and collectibles. This video and YouTube channel is rated PG-13, so that means this channel is not for anyone under the age of 13. So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil18 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Bandai Tamashii SH Figuarts Star Wars The Last Jedi Battle of Crait version Luke Skywalker. So let's get into it right away and take a quick look at the box. So as you can see here, we do get the basic looking style box when it comes to the SH Figuarts Star Wars line. So we do get the window right there in the front of the box, and on the window in gold does say Star Wars SH Figuarts. On the bottom does say Luke Skywalker, Star Wars The Last Jedi, Tamashii, and Bandai. And then here's the bottom of the box with the blah 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 stuff nobody cares about. And then here's the top of the box. And then the one side there with the Tamashii quality sticker. The other side does have an image of Luke Skywalker. And then the back there to show a few cool poses you can get the figure into, along with some of the accessories. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this figure, but to take a closer look at this version of Luke Skywalker that Rian Johnson completely ruined in The Last Jedi. But out of all the scenes Luke was in that movie, this was the best version of Luke Skywalker, which was at the end of the movie where he fought Kylo Ren, even though it really wasn't him, it was just his astral projection self. Whoops, spoilers. Alrighty, taking a closer detailed look, and with the detail like usual with SH Figuarts, they did an awesome job with this older version of Luke Skywalker, and the face sculpts I think do look like Mark Hamill, like how he did in The Last Jedi. But they definitely do resemble Mark Hamill for sure. The eyes both painted looking in the same direction. I love the way the beard turned out, very nice sculpt and paintwork all throughout it. Nice clean paint where the skin tone meets the hair there, and the sculpt of the hair turned out really nice too. I love the shading that they added in it as well. And one thing I don't like about this figure, but you can't really complain because you did see how it was in the promo images. I'm not a fan of the hard plastic or rubbery type plastic robes. I wish they would just give us cloth wired robes, man. That would be so much better than, say you want to remove the robe, you can have like his underclothing underneath, like this hooded Jedi attire he has on. So I'm not a big fan of the robe here. The sculpt of it looks beautiful, man, and I like the sculpted like design to it. I think that looks really cool. I kind of like how it looks like it's blowing back from the wind right there also. So I mean, nothing wrong with the sculpt of it. It just does make him a little back heavy, and it's just a hindrance to the articulation as well. Now, if they used a cloth wired robe or something like that, it wouldn't hinder articulation. It wouldn't make him back heavy or anything like that. So hopefully in the future, maybe they'll start doing that, but I doubt it. But like I said, the robe turned out really nice. Even the sculpt detail on the arms looked pretty good too. I'm not a fan like how it cuts right here and then there. So if like what I'm saying, if it's cloth, it wouldn't have that. You know what I mean? But I mean, it looks alright. And I do like how you could see his beige undershirt underneath on his forearms right there, which are articulated as well. I thought that was pretty cool. And then I do like the undershirt here with the hood. And the hood, this is glued on. Same with the robe here. So if you wanted to put your own cloth robe on, you can't because it's glued on to the shoulders right there. So that does kind of suck. But this piece here looks great. We get some nice sculpted wrinkles all throughout it. Belt turned out pretty good. We have the hook right there for his lightsaber. And these are a soft rubbery type plastic, as you can see right there. And I do like how you can see his undershirt up around the upper chest and neck right there. I think that looks pretty cool. And then for the legs here, very nice sculpted wrinkles all throughout his pants there, mainly around the knees and everything. You do see like the line sculpted on the side right there as well. And I like the way the pieces on the lower legs look too. I think that looks pretty cool. Very nice sculpt detail on that. Very realistic looking the way they sculpted that. Kind of has like a leathery type look to it. Very cool. And then the feet turned out pretty good too. Very nice sculpt detail all throughout that as well. And then the bottom of them, not too much going on, but overall, for the detail on this Luke Skywalker, they did an excellent job with it. But like what I was saying with robes for Jedi figures, I feel like Tamashii should definitely quit with the rubbery type plastic Jedi robes and start giving us some cloth wired ones, because that would be so much better. In my opinion, I feel like that would make these figures so much better, man. But overall, the paint and sculpt, I think, turned out great on this figure. But anyway, let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, Luke here really isn't included with much, which is a bit disappointing. I'm mostly disappointed with only 2 pairs of hands, man. That does kind of suck. But what we do get 2 interchangeable faceplates. And starting on the left there, we do get the basic stern-looking face, which is the one that does come on the figure out of the packaging. And you can see his hair is hanging over like his forehead right there. And I think they did a nice job with it. It does look like how Mark Hamill did towards the end of The Last Jedi. And then on the right, we do get the more like serious, I guess a little more angry type looking face. I believe you could see his teeth a little bit there too, and his hair is kind of more blowing back in the wind. And that one I think looks like Mark Hamill, like how he did in The Last Jedi as well. I think they did a very nice job on both the face sculpts there. We get some great sculpt and paint detail throughout both of them, and they're very easy to swap out. I'll show you how to do that right now quickly. And the way you swap the faces for Luke here is pretty basic for SH Figuarts Star Wars figures. So as you can see, it splits right over the center of the head, so you just got to pull on the chin and kind of wiggle it back and forth if you can until it pops off there, and then there you go. And then take the other head here and just peg that one on, and then there you go. As simple as that. And I'm gonna forget to mention that this gripping hand, the thumb is molded together to the fingers, so you're like, hey, how do you get him to grip onto his lightsaber? It does split apart right here, so you could have him grip onto his lightsaber with his gloved hand. Then you just got to line up the peg to get it back together there. So we do get the 2 interchangeable face sculpts, and then we also get 2 lightsaber hilts. So we get one with the lightsaber blade out, and then one with the lightsaber retracted, which is just the hilt itself. And then we do get this little jewelry type piece, and I believe this is the thing that he took out of the Millennium Falcon and then gave to Leia when his astral projection self went to meet up with her. I believe that's what this is. I mean, it looks pretty cool, and you could have it go over his open hand, so it looks like he's holding it and one side's hanging over each side of his hand right there. It looks pretty cool though. So we do get that. And then we do get the 2 lightsaber hilts here. So we do have the one with the lightsaber blade out, which looks great. It's a nice light blue translucent plastic for the lightsaber blade, and then the hilt turned out really nice too. Very nice sculpt and paint detail throughout that there. And this is how I will have him displayed with his lightsaber, of course. And then we do get the one without the lightsaber blade there, and it does have a little loop here, so you could hook it onto Luke's belt there, and I'll show you how to put that on there in a second. But very nice sculpt and paint detail on that. And as I showed you before, we do have the hook right there, so you would just hook the hilt right on there like so, and then there we go. As simple as that. So we do get that stuff, and then we finally get only 4 alternate hands. And starting on the right here, we do get a pair of open resting type hands, which are the ones that do come on the figure out of the packaging. And then all we just get besides these are a pair of gripping hands. And this is what I'm mostly disappointed with. All they gave us was 2 pairs of hands. Like, come on, Tamashii Nations, that really limits the hell out of your display options with the figure, man. I mean, you guys couldn't have at least gave us some force using hands or a pair of fists. Like, come on, man, that's really crappy. But we do get some very nice sculpt detail throughout all 4 hands, and I believe just the gloved hands are painted there. And another thing you have to keep in mind, the left hands, the bare hands there, are pretty difficult to swap out because the ball peg on the left wrist joint is very large compared to the peg hole on the hands there. So you're going to have to use a lot of force to get the left hands on, especially the gripping hand there. But the gloved hands are very simple to swap out, even though that ball peg is extremely large also. But anyway, that is all the accessories included with Luke Skywalker. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review, shall we? Now for the height of Luke Skywalker. To the very top of his hair there, it looks like he's just shy of 5 inches and 3/4 of an inch tall. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts second version Return of the Jedi Darth Vader, The Rise of Skywalker Kylo Ren, The Revenge of the Sith Yoda, R2-D2, and the Mafex BB-8. And I think this Luke scales really well with these other Star Wars figures. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts, A New Hope, Han Solo, Chewbacca, The Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Mace Windu. And I think Luke also scales well with these other SH Figuarts Star Wars figures. And then here he is compared to the Storm Collectibles Cyborg Smoke, the SH Figuarts Sage Mode Naruto, the Mephex Justice League Batman, and the Figma Black Swordsman Guts. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Awakened Warrior Super Saiyan Goku and the Mezco 112 Deadpool. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for the articulation, and because what he's wearing with that robe here, you really don't get too many display options or posing options actually with this figure. And as I mentioned a few times already, they definitely should switch to cloth goods when it comes to Jedi robes, man. It would really make the figure so much better, man. And you'd get better articulation. You wouldn't have clunky pieces like the arms and this piece here. So yeah, you really don't get too many posing options with this Luke here, but for what it is, I think they worked in the articulation the best they could. So we do have two joints at the neck here. With both of them, Luke looks up about that much, then looks down pretty good. You do get very nice pivot with both the joints there, and then they both do swivel as well. Then we do get a waist joint here, and it's actually a really good waist joint, man. Look how far forward he crunches, almost 90 degrees, and then the pivot is fantastic too, but going back, it gets hindered by that robe, man. And then of course it does swivel, so you get excellent articulation at that waist. It's just this damn robe gets in the way, man. It's just too big and clunky. So very nice waist articulation there. Then the arms here, you just get a tiny bit of a circular motion, and they do have a butterfly joint there, but this piece of the robe is restricting it from going out. So you can't really use the butterfly joint unless you force it, and you can kind of get it out a little bit, but it doesn't do anything, man. It doesn't bring his arms any further forward. You see what I mean? So it's kind of like a useless butterfly joint. Then we do not get a true bicep swivel, but we do have it built in to the shoulder there. You could also use it at the single jointed elbow. That does bend in a little more than 90 degrees, and it does swivel decently there as well, and just a tiny bit where it connects into the forearm. And then the forearm pieces can hinge up and down a tiny bit. Then we do have a ball hinge on the left wrist, so it does swivel and hinges back and forth. Then the right wrist is just a ball peg, so it does swivel and you can move it around a little bit there. Now for the legs here, Luke can kick forward about 90 degrees, which is pretty good. Won't go to the back any further than that. And let's see if he can Jean-Claude Van Damme it, which I know he cannot, because I'll have an outtake and you'll see why I already know. But you can't force it any more than 45 degrees or the leg joints are going to pop off the joint right there. So not the best outward leg movement, but you do get nice like forward leg movement. And it does have a nice hip swivel there as well. Then we do have single jointed knees that do bend back a little more than 90 degrees, and the joint doesn't swivel anywhere where it connects into either part of the leg. And then the ankles here, you get a nice swivel there. They do hinge up pretty good. They also hinge down decently, and then the ankle pivot definitely could be much better, man. That's not really good ankle pivot right there, but better than a decent amount of SH Figuarts Star Wars figures. Then we do have a nice toe hinge there as well. So overall, like I said, man, you're gonna have very limited posing options with this figure. These plastic Jedi robes definitely do not help out when it comes to articulation, but as I mentioned, Tamashii Nations I think worked in the articulation the best they could, and you're gonna be able to get them in some okay-ish older Luke Skywalker like poses. I'm about to show you some of those poses right about now. But anyway, that is my review of the SH Figuarts The Last Jedi Battle of Crait version, Luke Skywalker. Hope you enjoyed it. If I had to rate this figure with detail, I'd give it an 8.5. Articulation, I'd give it a 6.5. Accessories, I'd give it an even 7. And then the overall quality, I would give an even 9. If you would like to know the price and where to buy this figure, I did have mine imported from Japan, but my buddy from Agelessgeeks did just get this figure in stock, so you can check out their website at agelessgeeks.com. If you can't find something on there, I do highly recommend going through their Instagram or Facebook page. I will put more information in the description below. And if you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell. And if you liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, oh well, I guess you didn't like it. But thanks for watching. I will see you later. So as you can hear, my refrigerator just turned on. Star Wars line. So we do get the window right there in the front of the box, and on that window in gold to say Star blah 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 blah. On the bottom to say Luke Skywalker, Star Wars, Return of the Jedi. Damn it, that's not the Return of the Jedi version. Even though I wish it was, because I need to get that one for my collection again. Let's get this figure up to take a closer look at this version of Luke Skywalker. Blah blah. Now for the height of Luke to the very top of his hair, it looks you bastard. The ESH Figuarts second bleh. The Rise of Skywalker, Kylo Ren, The Revenge of the Sith, Yodeling Yoda, which are the ones that do come on the figure out of the packaging and on them. So now for the I guess he didn't want me to work on the articulation segment. He pretty much can Van Damme it, so nice. Alright, never mind, he can. I ripped the leg joints off.